Yeah, welcome back to the firehouse for some more fiery reasoning. You know, when I say fiery reasoning, I mean those reasoning that burn. You know, these reasoning I say make man feel agony, a woman for that matter. Tonight in the firehouse, I'll be discussing or looking over, like I like to say, skimming over this remembrance. Here in England last week it was Remembrance Week. And in Remembrance Week now, over here there were some red poppies on the jacket. So I happened to encounter a black man, you know, in the town, and he was wearing a poppy. And I asked him, you know, how come you are wearing a poppy? And he tell me that that this was to remember those who died in World War I and World War II, as it was. Which obviously I know that's what the Remembrance Service is about. But I also asked him, says, how come you don't remember our ancestors who died coming across the waters from Africa? And he says that was too long ago. Tell me, no. As far as I'm concerned, 1914, 18 or 1939 to 45 is a long time ago for me as well. And for most of the people who are remembering these, what I call atrocities, you know what I mean? People who die in war. And yet he don't want to remember those who die in slavery. So this is why I'm saying now it is important for one to remember their roots. Don't forget, you know, the Fire Lion already explained to everyone that we are all one. But still, one is not going to understand this oneness until one understands who he is and where he is coming from. So, any black man, no matter where you are or a woman, you need to understand that your ancestors are from Africa, fully. You know what I mean? Now, before they encounter, like I say, either what you are terming Christianity, or what you are terming Islam, yeah? Our ancestors, well, I don't know about some, because some it look like you want to detach yourself from your ancestors. But the lineage of fire that I am coming down from, you know, from the African roots, my ancestors, right, did not follow anything Islamic or anything Christian. No Christianity. Because they had their own mind and their own connection with God. You understand? There was no need for anyone to come and educate them about who God and what God was. You know what I mean? Or for any God to reveal any scripture to anyone else to come and tell them that they didn't know about. You understand? So, when I'm returning to my roots, because I don't know, some people don't want to do it. It's entirely up to you. Follow who you want, like I say. You want to follow the Christians, follow them. And you who are following Muslim, follow them. As a Fire Lion, I refuse to follow anyone at all. You understand? I is following the, you know, like what they say about DNA. I have these DNA, I have these things in my DNA, or in my psyche, way back in the ancestral roots. So when we trace back the ancestral roots, way down there, I say, in deep Congo. In deep Congo, no. I ancestors was not looking towards Mecca. And neither did I and I ancestors come up with any idea about this Jesus. I don't know who made that up, but it definitely wasn't I and I ancestors. So I don't follow anything like those. And anyone, I'm telling you, of you who are following such ideas, have gone away from your roots. You understand? You've gone away from... and going away from your roots is just going away from yourself. Because now you have been taught by others. You understand? And hence the reason why now in these modern times, like I'm saying, you are failing to understand what is happening to you. Or what is happening in the world. Because you've lost your center. Like I would say. You need to get back to roots. Everyone need to get back to roots, you know. To know themselves. You understand? It's like, you remember like how I'm always teaching you that life is paradoxical. And it is. And the truth is a paradoxical thing. So paradoxically, you need to know yourself as a black man. Eh? And then realize that you're not a black man. If you know what I mean. But it have to be done. And you cannot know yourself as a black man unless you accept yourself as an African. And you cannot accept yourself as a true African until you shed all foreign ideas from out of your mind and go back to traditional thinking. How our ancestors used to think. You know, before, like I tell you, Islam or Christianity come about, they wasn't thinking Christian and anything Islamic when they build the temples that they build. The great building, the great history that you can find hidden all over Africa, or hidden here in the West India Museum. It wasn't the thought of Christian or Muslim who did this. So we don't need their ideas to think. You let them convince you of this. That's to lead you astray. That actually when God created, it's literally like telling you that, listen, because you are a black man, yeah? When you was created by the creative energy, creative energy make a mistake and never give you sufficient intelligence. Yeah? So because you are the one who lack sufficient intelligence and we are the one with enough intelligence, we are the one that the revelation, you know, we are the children of light who come to give you light. You understand? This is what literally some of you are accepting. The teachings of others. And this is where I say idol worship come into things now. They've give you idols to worship while telling you not to worship idols. Paradoxically again, look like the paradoxical things work even in the negative. You understand? Because they tell you not to worship idols and give you the idol of Jesus to worship. It still baffles me, like I say. Things like this baffle me. How so many beings who God give intelligence keep harping on about a man they call Jesus come out of his mother. You know what I mean? I don't know what this man, well, according to the year that he wake up man from the dead. I agree that a man can wake a man up from the dead, you know. Waking up a man from the dead is not as hard as you think. You know? But trust me, you know when a man is dead, you know, dead, bring him come and let me shot him, kill him, or stab him, kill him, or when the breath stop. That's he's dead. No one ain't waking him up. You know? So if any man believe that Jesus wake up Lazarus from the dead, the only way he could have wake up Lazarus from the dead, Lazarus was a wicked man. You see what I mean? Wicked man doing bad things. And when men are wicked, we say that they are dead. So if you talk to them and they listen and change their ways, that is the only way that you can wake up a dead man. You understand? But no man can wake up, and that is the governor of this dimension, and when they take you, you are gone. Ain't no miracle happening and no one coming round, you know. So I don't know which, like I say, it must be some of the most lunatical beings who spread these kind of stories. Obviously, devilish, wicked, evil people, I say. Talking about man way, and now half of the world, a quarter of it, I don't know, is worshipping the idol of Jesus. You won't even broaden your mind and think, who did they used to worship before Jesus? Because Jesus is only 2,000 years ago. You know? Don't know all the pyramid is. Who did they used to worship? Jesus. Or are you trying to say they used to worship the devil, yeah? Wickedness. And it was only when Jesus come about that men understand the difference between right and wrong. Yeah, it was Jesus who first started, innit? The Chinese never had any idea, yeah, what right and wrong was. The Indians, they never knew either. Neither does those in South America. The only time that human beings realized what truth was when Jesus bring it. And then, because he's a prophet, and when the other prophet come, Muhammad, he bring the last of it, they say. Nobody else can't know nothing apart from these masters. You know what I mean? But I say, the only human being who could believe such nonsense is a human being who do not understand himself or herself. You know what I mean? Because those are the ramblings of idiots. You know? The truth is in oneself. A man is not the truth. A man cannot be the truth. It would be literally like thinking that it was a man who was shining the sunlight. You know? And that the sun never shine until this man appear on earth. That's when the sun start to shine. You know what I mean? So if you want to believe that the fire, I am not the truth, I am a man, how can I be the truth? The truth was around before I was born. And so like it was before Jesus was. You must think it was when Jesus arrived on the earth, like I say, the sun in the sky started shining. That was shining before him come out of Mary. If he was ever in any Mary. See what I mean? And before he come out of Mary, the truth was. So I don't know how come. Well, like I say, it's not beings who have opened up their understanding to the reality of life, and this understanding cannot be opened up until honesty is applied. You see what I mean? When it is applied in life, wherever you live in, whatever situation you're going through, when you start to apply the quality of honesty, that is what open up the intelligence within one. If you are a human being, like I repeat over and over, who is not applying honesty in life, you know what I mean? You know, striving to live morally, then you ain't going to open up on anything that you are believing. Well, you can only be a believer, then you can't be a knower. And every believer, like I said, is an idiot. I know believers are idiots. Because if you don't know, you must say what you don't know to what you don't know. You're a fool to what you don't know. So that's why I say believers are idiots. Because believers cannot know. That's why they can sell you. Anyone can come and sell you a story, and you buy it. People are still writing book about Jesus, a fictitious figure, tracing his life and all this kind of thing. Why? Because they must be making a money out of selling books. And who want to read any idiotic book about the life of Jesus and when he walked and when he did this and when he did that. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is what I mean. This is for those who like to hero worship. Fans, followers. You are a fan, but being a fan and a follower of a next man is not the truth. You ain't dealing with the truth. Truth is honesty. It's not the next person. Living good, right, that's nothing to do with the next human being. Who come out of the mother, Jesus or not. That is just you living honestly, not cheating, not lying, not wishing to hate anyone, not wishing to conquer and possess the earth. Ain't got nothing to do with Jesus or Muhammad or the Buddha, that one. You can forget about them. You don't have to know them to behave like that. And behaving like that is what's going to open your eye. No other way. You see, like if you go and talking about Jesus, Muhammad, and that ain't going to open your eye. And his action is what open your eye. And his action can be performed by any being, anywhere, anytime, without knowing any man, special man, or hearing about his deeds, and what he did, and when he did it, and how he did it. You see what I mean? So in Firehouse, we don't... the glorification, like I keep saying over and over, of other human beings. The fire is here to destroy those. You know, you hear man talking about how some beings are divine. Huh? His divine majesty, or Jesus is divine, or I don't know who is divine. And what you are terming divinity, are giving some being divinity. But you might as well just say that every being that you see on the planet is divine. But don't be telling anyone, don't tell I and I, Rastafari, that any being is divine. Because in Firehouse, I burn up divinity, bloodline, everything. I don't care about your divinity and your bloodline. Because I don't know what divinity is, and I do not care. See, we're too serious with that, man. You know what I mean? The disciples that I work with, you know what I mean? Like serious, funny. You know what I mean? Those men don't take those kind of thing about anyone being divine. No, man, we don't deal with divine. The only divinity we find is what is right and correct. Truth. But as to say, no, a man is divine, and be telling another man, this man divine. You know, like I see men bowing to man, whether our man is going on about the divinity of his imperial majesty, or the divinity of the Buddha, or the divinity. You know, there is no divinity, no, you're not putting, don't be putting any men above other man, because God never do any such thing. It's only other humans who like I tell you, like to promote men above men. And make out that they are divine. They are divine in your sight, but not in the sight of God. And I is dealing with things from God's sight, you know, from the other side of things, not from the mind. So in your little, like I say, puny mind, yeah, some men are divine, or they are special, sent special. But in the sight of God, no one is special. All beings are created equally. See what I mean? What you do with that is up to you. But in the sight of God, there is no divine being. And in the sight of the fire lion, there is no divine being, because I do not bow. You don't understand? To no divine being, either in this dimension or the next. You see what I mean? If there is any bowing to do, brethren, I only bow to the one, not to any second or any third. You see me? So divine being is no use you being divine in the sight of the fire lion. Fire lion is only concerned whether your heart is burning with what is right and correct within the law. You see what I mean? And we don't need divine beings. Just like you do not need the fire lion to know what is right and wrong. What is right and wrong, you already know. All you need to do is to apply it. You see what I mean? You don't need me to tell you. Because you don't need to think, oh, your fire lion is divine, or I am thinking that you are divine. We are all divine, whatever this divinity means, because it doesn't mean nothing. Nothing means nothing to me, so I don't know. Bloodline don't mean nothing to me. Black and white don't mean nothing to me, so I don't know. You see what I mean? The only thing that means anything and make any sense to me is when human beings decide to live honestly and truthfully, to the fullest authority. You understand? And when they start to get a sense of that, there is a higher intelligence than their little puny intelligence, and they wish to make a connection with this higher intelligence, and because they do, they start to refine the life and live better life. Less hate, less jealousy, less. In fact, they cut all that out and become more full human being. That is all that I'm interested in. I'm not interested in any one great scriptures. You know what I mean? Because you cannot use great scriptures like I'm telling you and test a fire lion. Oh no. Oh yeah, you can use it and test me. It will confirm to you what I'm saying is correct. If you know the positive part of your scripture, that is. Because scripture, like I tell you, repeat, is positive and negative. Understand? So in this time here now, in the fire, we come to burn away all illusions, like I'm telling you about divinity or special or we. But you still have to know your roots. You see what I mean? You still have to know who you are. So the fire lion still have to know himself as a black man then. And I love myself as a black man fully. You see what I mean? And I don't want to be nothing else, I want to be a jungle bunny, because that's what I am. An African. And I want to think like that. I don't want to think like I don't want the next man come and tell me how to think, No, man. I appreciate if people come and help me. Don't get me wrong, no problem. How to build this and that. Or if we share our reasoning, what we understand about the creative energy. But don't come to me telling me that God sent you. You see what I mean? And that you are, you are my teacher, my guide, or whatever you want to call it. Because I am not coming to you telling you that. And I don't accept teachings from, like we say, no boy. See me? And none of your scripture. Because I don't know what scripture you can have that is greater than conscience. And conscience is already in I and within all human beings. So your book, because I don't know, you see, spiritual men, you have to understand, know that God never write any book. So we don't look for God in book, if anything. You look for God in nature, because God created the universe. So if you want to get an early glimpse of the power, you see it in nature. Not go about reading books. And I repeat, I'm not saying that you can't write books. Yeah, books are useful. But it ain't books that's going to teach you about God, is it? And even if a man who know God write a book, yeah, you can go and read it. But that ain't going to help you unless you apply back what you read in there. It's just like training. If you don't train, you're not going to get fit. And if you don't apply morality in life, your mind is not going to get fit. And if your mind is not fit, it cannot reflect truth. You see what I mean? All these things, like I say, is just simple common sense. Common sense is the highest sense, I say, the most authoritative. But it's the sense that is least applied. Especially in spiritual terms, man don't want to use common sense. They want to say that they are philosophers and metaphysics and all kind of exoteric and giving themselves all kind of title. Well, I don't know what none of these things. I don't know them, because I don't need to study nothing. How could I be a philosopher when I don't know nothing about philosophy or metaphysics? Some of these are the big name that they give what they call the science to, And I haven't got none of those qualifications. So, if imagine then if you don't got these qualifications that they are saying then, is that God has put you here and no, he's saying unless you go in that building and get some qualification, you cannot understand my creation. Oh no. It's a good thing it doesn't go like that. And it's a good thing, like I say, you don't have to be no metaphysics and no philosophy or whatever. Because some people just couldn't afford to go to these institutions to study these arts or these science, whatever you call them. But a righteous man, like I tell you, he doesn't need to study nothing at all. All he needs to do is to strive to live good. That's all. Don't need to be bothered about history, because truth is not history, is it? Truth is current, like I say, live and direct. Run it currently. So, technically, I don't have to know nothing about history. You know? And because you are a man, you'll obviously know a little bit, but you don't have to know. I don't have to know nothing in no great detail about no history. Or know nothing in no great detail about no philosophy, or whatever you are talking about. You know what I mean? All I need to do, or anyone, you know, is to live honesty. Honesty is the best of policy. Honesty open the doors and let you in, leading you to firehouse where you know things instead of believing in things. You understand? So that you can, like I say, come up into the bringing in some of what is happening here now. And I see they have a ceasefire on the Gaza Strip, you know. But it's like my friend was telling me, so when we're talking about Israel, how did he put it again? Is not real. Instead of Israel, we don't say Israel, we call them is not real. So is not real now has agreed to stop the bombardment of the Gaza Strip. Cause I say anyway, because Hillary must have gone over here and said, listen man, just ease off a bit, cause you know, it's looking a bit bad here now, cause we need to do some killing in Syria. And you are killing here, you know what I mean? And it look bad that we are not supporting even Hamas or Bahrain or, you know? It looks really bad on us now. So please don't... Wait a minute. Just let us deal with Syria. So now they having a ceasefire. But ceasefire under what circumstances anyway? That's what I mean. When you think about it, you say, okay, stop bombing the man them, but after you must have dropped about a 1,500 bomb down there. Blowing up, so you must have blown up most of the police station, most of the important government building. You even blow up a football stadium. Imagine that now. These men must be some really sick, real, and at the real extreme of sickness. Because at the very least now you gone bombing up the man them football stadium. So right now you've destroyed most of what you call the infrastructure there. And that's following on from 2008, because most of it was destroyed already anyway. And on top of this now you destroy most. And are you going to know is the world, I don't see how many builders are rushing down now to Gaza, promising to erect back up the building as within the next 6 months. And rushing in ton load of cement, rushing in ton load of dirt moving equipment to clear all that the Israelis all them building that they brought down. Testing the air if there's any radiation in it, any poison if they drop. You can't trust these people. They probably drop poison in the prison. Because that's what I say the Gaza Strip is. It is a prison. And the two-facedness now, like I say, of these hypocrites who are ruling over you, it's a real joke, isn't it? Like I say, look at this now. Who did they choose for the Nobel Peace Prize? It was a laugh when they choose Obama. But this is even a greater laugh now. They choose the European Union when Europe is in the depths of depression. And here you are now, they are in the depths of depression. And they are busily now, France, Britain here, Turkey, and gathering up forces to recognize a terrorist government to go and take over Syria. Why do you want to do that? And yet when, like I tell you, people are protesting in Bahrain, they live there, they've lived there for 100 a year. The British and American know this, and the French or whatever. But are they saying anything at all about these people, are advising the people to take up arms, or say they will arm them? No. So you see these people, they must be sick people, innit? These must be sick. They not must be, they are. I know that they're sick. But I'm just saying, can't anyone who is listening to this see and understand for real that yes man, these must be some real evil beings. They are not really dealing with justice and peace, which I know that they are, you know. I'm just speaking, trying to shine a light so those who has not have the time to delve into the depths to see these things. Yeah, because I have delved in the depths. You know what I mean? All my time in England, from I was 27, yeah, has spent meditating into the ways of the wicked. That's it, penetrating him to the depths, studying him and how he's done his stuff, and you know, brainwashing ways and things. And so I know now when I'm speaking, it's no joke at all. These people are, you know, like when they show you in the movies about devils and, you know, bloodsuckers and vampires, they are just telling you who they are. In real life, this is no joke. You must think that these people, right, really care how many people are going to die. When you see them dropping bombs on the Gaza and children, them people that are dying, they don't care about that. You think they care? Before they drop the bombs, they know innocent people are going to die. Did you think the American care, right, when they first discover the atomic bomb and bring it and drop it on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, whatever they call the place? Did you not know that before they drop it, right, they knew that when they drop it, it is going to kill about at least 30,000 kids, you know, maybe 20,000 old people, 10,000 of that and that. You never think they knew all this. And did you think they think to themselves, oh no, we cannot kill so many humans at once? No man, that's not a problem for wicked. Yeah, and of course they pass it off and tell you that, oh, if we never did the Japanese wouldn't surrender and all this kind of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what they will tell you. But they don't mind about, you have to understand the heart of wickedness that run the planet. Don't care about the majority. The majority is there to die or to play the game. That's what the majority is there for. You are like what I call the fathers, and at certain time they might decide, oh, we'll have a war here and there, and you know, so much die cause this to what man makes so many die. Dying is their game. You don't understand. If any, it must be a being must be real ignorant and stupid. Yeah? If it's in this time, they're thinking worldwide, planetary wise, that the state of the world is good, and these our politicians, right, those who are up there ruling us, are good men, and their intention is to see peace and prosperity on the earth. You must be real stupid if you can see these very people who you think are leading you are the ones that are creating all the war, are backing all the weaponry. Politicians are arguing about who is making arms, and the politician promote. That's what they are there to go to an next country and sell the arms that their bosses are making. You know, maybe they might even have a share in the arms themselves. So how can you, as a righteous man then, be involved in something like that? Can you imagine a righteous man, right, either making guns or having the intention of selling them to other people? So anybody who is doing this must be unrighteous. Two, you're either righteous or unrighteous. So if you involve in any activity that is going to create harm against your fellow human being for the sake of material comfort, which is only paper, like the devil, you know, devil make you sell your soul for paper, then that means that you are a negative human being, wicked like we would say. And most of the world has fallen for this. For this, like I call it, ungodly behavior. But remember the paradox of life. Because death is another paradox as well. Because there it appears in death as if life is finished. When I'm telling you, paradoxically, it is the beginning of your life. You see what I mean? The magic of God, I call it, man. I never cease to marvel. I'm always marveling at the way how God flex it. God, I feel that God loves paradoxes. Yeah. Things that seems not possible, yet it is. You know? Seems impossible, but yeah, man. It's impossible for man, but not for God. That's what amazes me about that, you know. It would be impossible for a man to say, make a man die, then, if it was him, and then yet the man is not dead. See all the man body buried and the man is not. Cause, trust me, that's exactly how God has made it. Look to you, that you are decomposing in the earth. Yeah? But when you understand what is, when you live correctly, you will not, you don't have to believe it anymore. You will see that what is decomposing is your carriage. You know, you'll know that you are a spirit. Spirit do not go into ground. And you do not, no one, like I says before, right? When they die, you don't take any secret into the grave. Nah, man. Your secret are in your memory, in your spirit, that you take it with you. Because that's how you're going to make account of what you've done here. You understand? That is the secret, you know. There is no secret in these Illuminatis, you know. Hoodwinking people that they are the enlightened one, or that they've got some special secret. And you know, these are the goons, like I say, I call them idiot, who's totally lost their mind now, thinking, oh yes, they must have some secret. So, you know, we'll get initiated to see if we can get some of this secret. The only secret these people that call themselves Illuminati or Masons or whoever has got, is the secret of negativity. If you know what I mean. How to control and exploit the earth without others knowing that they are the one who is behind it. That is the only secret that they've got. They don't have no idea. Because you cannot keep wisdom as a secret. Those who are keeping wisdom as a secret must be wicked and evil, innit? And you couldn't anyway. That's what I mean. You couldn't be, you wouldn't be wise. Not that a man can be wise, but I'm saying that, you know, you wouldn't be wise if you know something and hide it from your neighbor, innit? That sounds more like selfishness to me than to point out that somebody know, they was over in that building and they had wisdom, but for some reason they was guarding it, so we never know it. No, I don't. I would say those people are mad people. I would say if anyone, man or woman, was wise, then they have any idea what man call wisdom, then once you know something, you tell your next door neighbor, innit? You know what I mean? You don't keep it to yourself. You share it. It's not like knowledge, like you know how to make some money then, but you don't want to share it because you don't want your next door neighbor to be rich as you. Oh no, it's not. Wisdom is not like that, man. Wisdom share and let everyone know. So in Firehouse now, like I say, we destroy wisdom still, because wisdom is the one. And the one now don't herd wisdom. The one share wisdom. Because the one is for all and the one is in all. So wisdom is a thing that is for all. It's not for some special group. It's not for no group of people who think that they are divine, you know what I mean? And it's only them that can go in the house of wisdom. Well, if there was never such thing taught on the earth before, Fire Lion burn that up, man, and come with a new teaching where every human being is divine. As long as you come out of your mother, all if you cripple, all the cripple is divine as well. Every human being. There is no special human being. No, man. No human. How can you be special? By who? Who says that you are special? It weren't God that says you're special, innit? This is what human beings should learn to do. Stop listening to the praises of men. Or stop, when they put distinction on you, telling you that you're great, or you are Lord this, or you are Sir this, or you're a Baban, you know. Don't accept those things of men. Because when you do right, those things will only puff your ego up and make you believe that you are somebody important. You're not important. You know? You're just the same like any other human being, full of shit. Don't bother think that because they, like you see them here, some medal on the jacket. You wear a piece of, a jacket like this. Like you see American 5-star general with all kind of thing on you. And then because you've got all this over your body now, you think that you are important. Ain't that ridiculous? How can that make you important? But the ego get tricked, like I say, and do believe that it's important, if you know what I mean. Because they're all egoists. That's what I'm saying. They're all career, searching, aiming for career. And it's just like in the workplace, when you those who want to climb the ladder, ass lickers we used to call them in work. Hey, do anything to please the boss. Little grassers will tell lies on the friend just to get in a better position. Sometimes they can't even get in no better position. They just like licking the boss's ass. Those are the worst set of human beings. Who is doing things to please other, are doing things because some they feel this man is in, a woman is in a more important position, and if they bow to them, they might bring them a step up. Give them £7 instead of 6. How low can you? Well, I, like I said, I will never ever bow to any human being in that way. Rather, we're dead poor, innit? Are dead without anything. You see what I mean? Because I wouldn't want to. No wonder I never had any education. Because maybe if I did, I might have been thinking like those idiots that I want to be somebody and make something of my life. Yes, man, I have to make something of my life. And then when you see them now, maybe when them reach all up at my age, and them soon ready for retire now, and them have a little house and car, or maybe they might have a business, and then they say, yeah, well, I have achieved well in my life, Well, I haven't achieved anything in my life still, Like I tell you, for the 40 years that I've been in England, I don't have nothing, man. I don't have no house, no car, nothing. So you could say that. Why you say that? My life is a failure. Mario's laughing behind the camera. My life is a failure. Now let's talk about the failures of life. I feel really disappointed that I have failed in life. When I sit back and I look and I see men driving their fine motor vehicle, you know, and I would like a gold rim motor vehicle, I says, you are a failure in life. Because you should have been driving. I should have even been flying the aeroplane. I could have been a university professor. You know? I could have been one of the computer genius, you know? Steve Jobs and all them man there, you know? Bill Gates, you know? I could have been loads of things. But what happened to me? I end up a failure. I have failed to achieve. It's like one who go to school and never pass none of the exam. So that's what I am in life. A failure. Is there any pleasure in failure? Yes. Actually, failure is a good thing. I love failure so much that when I realize that I fail, because some people who fail, you know, I've met some people who fail and they always say, I wish I had gone to school. You know, I could have been blah blah now. But because I'm an idiot myself, well, a failure I always think, I am glad I never went to no school. Because if I never went to school, if I went to school, I would not have failed. You see what I mean? But because I never went to school, that's why I failed. So looking back now, would I like to go to school to achieve? No, because I love failure. I would rather fail than go to school and learn, you know what I mean? No, I is in love with a bit of the failure. And I'm proud of not achieving anything. I am very proud that I don't own anything on the planet. I don't own anything. Well, it have its advantages. Because if I did own anything, when I was going, I think I would miss it. No? Yes, man. If I own a nice big house, man, when I was dying, I think, I have to leave my house, man. You know what I mean? I might not even want to leave. Maybe after that, I might just hang around and live in it for a while. Haunt it forever then, you know? Some of you might end up doing that you love. You know, because you love things, in it. But because I haven't got anything and I haven't got anything to attach to. You know what I mean? Anything material, that is, you know. I can attach up to my family and my kids and that, because they won't be staying here, will they? You know what I mean? They're going where I'm going. So no, I haven't got I am a failure. And but many people have depressed themselves by the fact that they are failures. You see what I mean? Because they dream of the success. Then, and they say, but they cannot take the humiliation of being a failure. So they turn into maybe drug addict or whatever. I don't know, some people kill even themselves. But I am like a pig then. I wallow in failure, if you know what I mean. The more I fail, the more I love it, man. I am a total, that's why I say, I am a total idiot. And I am in the Premier League of idiots. Because I am in love with idiocy. You know what I mean? And I would rather, the more I view those who have sense, those who are educated, the more I enjoy being a lunatic. Because trust me, what the civilized are doing, you know, those who are not failures, they are civilized people, you know. They always look nicely dressed and, you know, they are the one that has achieved, have a nice house and car and, you know, in society. But I know, like I said on the last reason, these are the worst type of human beings, man. Trust me. These are the very souls that support the system, that keep us and the planet in subjection, in ignorance. Those who are the what you would call the most educated, I call them the most brainwashed. It's like those imagine if you live in a country like like what them call it now, is not real. If you live in is not real, yeah, you are conscripted into the whole country is militarized in a way. So everyone is like, and everyone is thinking like the military. Because you have to serve your time in the army. So you get indoctrinated in the military. So everybody is on a war footing. How can you think straight if you militarize? If your mentality is what is thinking in the army, how can you think straight? So in that situation, very few people are going to be able to think straight. Because they just think war, you know. Oh, anything happen, we just go out and shoot and we. You only know war. You know what I mean? And coming back to this ridiculous thing that I was talking about, how can anyone show allegiance to flags though? In these modern times, like I'm saying, from Firehouse, can't you see that countries, you know, your different countries is what is causing the division? And the different races that, you know, you say Palestinian, Jews, Arabs, Syrian, Lebanese, Nigerian, Cameroon, all this. That is part of the deception. None of this thing is real. You're human beings living on one planet. But you've been confused and you're so educated as well. How come you're so goddamn educated, right? And these idiots in the universities. How come the great teachers in the universities are not shouting this from in their classroom about the oneness of life? How come the great scientists with them hasn't proved it? Properly prove it, so nothing else can be taught but that. The oneness of humanity, and talk about the idiotic business of dividing up yourself into these different groups, causing confusion. You know? It suits the purpose of the force, the negative force that want to rule over the common man. But it doesn't suit no intelligent human being. Every intelligent human, any human being know that we are one. You cut out this business about like this division business or stop going on that like you are some type of superior. You're not no type of, you're the man, any man who is going like and as if there's a superior man, you know that man is an idiot. And his intent is to do evil. So like in this modern time, like I'm saying, instead of hiding the history of the African man, come out and show the people that the African man had history. We come out and tell the people that, look, this is the man who teach the Greeks what they know. This is the man who built the temple. Long time, you know what I mean? I don't know why you keep all in your great university teaching. You're still teaching lies. And people are still going there listening to you. No one is challenging the lie that you are teaching to them and the deception. You've played this game for too long where you want to make the jungle man look as if he's less intelligent than you, and that it was actually you who think of all the science as you would see it, and you're great thinkers. You know what I mean? They are the masters of thinking. But really I and I in the bush never had the ability to come up with it. Well, alright, if you carry on hide it, I will prove it to them in this time. When it is the king has returned, king of the jungle, Fire Lion style, to reveal the truth to all human beings, that we are one, understand? And that I have an equal human being to any human being who ever come out of them mother boy. Well, I don't care who know that still, but I know that myself. Like I say, I don't go and ask man for my rights. I know my rights. And my rights, like I'm telling you, is I is equal to any being anywhere in the universe. I don't bow to any beings. You could be sitting on the left and right hand side of God. I don't bow to you. It's only Jah I bow to, you understand? Just the one, not the two or the three. You know? My equality, I do not compromise one iota, you know what I'm saying? Not even one, not even, none at all. Rasta. When you're dealing with the lion, you're dealing with the living fire. Like I'm telling you. So it is the living fire that I and I come to deliver within this time, you know. In the Rasta style, you know. I know me, I'll not dread out there no weep when them hear this and say, no man, you're not a Rasta, because you don't believe in the divinity of His Majesty. Brethren, you're right, I don't believe in nothing. I just know things. That's it, man. I don't believe nothing. Anything that I come earth a man believe in, brethren. I don't believe in nothing. So any man believe in Jesus and the divinity of Jesus and the divinity of Selassie. But I don't believe in that. I don't believe in nothing. I just know things. That's what I mean. I know definitely it's a God dwelling in man. But you don't like call it God and call it conscience. Or like I say, Rastafari himself, the high general, dwell within all man. That's me. I don't know about no divinity. The only divinity I know is the one that is within. The light giver. That's me. The divinity of boy who come out of their mother like I say. Who care about that? Say, but about not for a fire lion like I tell you. We mash up all those kind of conception. The only thing I'm interested in, like I tell you, the fire, is to let everybody know, or to try and let them be aware. Because you can't reach everybody. It's not the fire alone. Enough man is trying to tell people, let them aware that self-discipline is needed to wake themselves up to the understanding of life. Because trust me, life ain't a joke. And like I tell you, I'm not a believer. I'm a know of things Rasta. That's it, man. That's why when I'm telling wicked boy, I don't care. I don't bother about the wicked and what they want to do. Because like I tell you, I know where they. I know you're a faith wicked man. Just like how you are the law here, you operate the law. I am the law. You know what I mean? Frightened hear that, you know, people say, oh, you are the law. Yes, man, I know it's the law. What I say is the law. And I say that whether human know it or not, that doesn't make any difference. Whether you think, oh, he's bragging, saying he's the... When I say I'm the law, you know, I am not the law. The law was before I was born, but I and I can reflect it to the fullest. So when I speak, I'm speaking the law. Just like when a policeman go out and, like I say, and arrest people and do whatever. Carry out his duties, that's what they say. Well, on the flip side of the negative is the fire lion carrying out his duties as a lawman. You see what I mean? Delivering the law to any human beings. Because like I say, I go anywhere within the universe. So when I'm teaching, I don't just teach to a particular, like we say, Rasta or Chris, whatever you want to call yourself. Because I just say names are just what you confuse yourself with. I teach the souls of beings. Listen me. Any beings, who care where you come from? Because like I tell you, your book where you got where you call your holy book or whatever, it could have been 3 billion year old, man. Nothing to a fire. Listen me. Fire know what is right. Teach what is right. You see what I mean? We deal with the living God. Not no believe and, you know, this and talk about Solomon and to stop talk about man with dead long time. What you want to do human beings? Or even somehow not dread realist. Stop talk about man with dead long time. You know, like Solomon and Moses. I don't even think them man exist anyway. But deal with current affairs. What are you doing now with your life? What type of life are you living? Have a look at yourself. Can you make any correction to the life that you're living? You know, could you be a better human being? That's what you need to find out. Find out honestly from yourself. Look at yourself, man, and make correction if you have faults. If you're striving to do that already, then you'll be understanding the fire message clearly, of course, and loving it. But if you have not done so, that's what you need to do. Apply what you already know in your life. So you already know the things that you are doing, what are not right. So you can change them. You see what I mean? Because you are the one doing them, innit? Not anybody else. You have to be, like we say before, your own mechanic, your own fixer. No one can fix you but you. And until you fix up, you ain't going to see what's happening in the world. You won't even care. You probably go out and support what's happening in the world. Vote, like I say, to keep yourself in suppression and under ignorance. You know? And when it comes to a time like this where I say where the devil is not even hiding now, they blatantly doing injustice in front of you. They blatantly, like I say, the UN, or United Nations, whatever call them, and they see what's going on in Bahrain and they don't answer them, they keep quiet, the UN. And one little, they see a bus explosion in Israel. America condemn it, Britain condemn it, France condemn it, this. And they don't condemn always. How many people die in Bahrain? Nobody never died on the bus in Israel. And so many big countries went to condemn the terror act. But none of you are condemning the terrorist act. I see man shoot man from this close in his face with canister in Bahrain, and me tell you. And I don't hear Obama and Mrs. Clinton or anyone in the American establishment come out and decry the inhuman behavior of these Bahrainis. Why? Because they are friends with them. One of them even come to Prince William wedding. After dishing out, they even go down there and have one Grand Prix race down there while they were brutalizing. That's how evil these people are and wicked. That they should go somewhere and sport around in the car while the fellow human being are getting battered by an inhuman system. But just because the system is rich, they have money, these devils. So, you know, don't care about what they're doing. So this country is a supporter of suppression. It was them who teach people how to suppress their own people anyway. It is them who train most of the military people around the world. Most of them come to Sanders or they go in America to learn how to brutalize their society. Most of, like I say, if you go around the world, most of the laws are run under British law. That is a mad law, negative, set up by devils. The laws of the planet are devilish, satanic. You know, ain't nothing good about these laws and these human beings that run and operate these laws. All of them, like I say, are going down to hell. You know. And like I say to them, they better enjoy their stay in the body. Like, no, you're living in this time. And, you know, you have to enjoy, because that ain't going to be nice for you. Never, because you have to go there now. And I don't know what your crimes are, but you know what crimes you are behind. And whatever crimes you are behind, you have to pay for that fully. Don't bother think that any of your crime, you know, wicked. That you can never do a crime. God is not like the police, brethren. I'm telling you, God is a magician. I am not guessing about that, you know. You could literally say, I know God personally. Yes, man. I know God personally, man. But you still can't know God still, you know. I tell you, God is a paradox. Known and unknown. But in his known movements, I'm telling you, you can't do anything and get away with it. God lies perfect. I'm telling you, man, he's got a spy there, man. Memory, man. Or I call it the black box. You know, when the airplane crash, the black box. You must have heard it, and any man of my reason, if you reason, you used to use it a lot, the black box. Yeah, man, I'm firing the black box in this reasoning. When you crash, that's when death come for you. Yeah, man, retrieve the black box from you, which is your memory. That's where all the data is. You don't get it. You know how many times I tell people this and they think it's some kind of joke, when it should be so obvious. That's yes, man. That is exactly true, man. We never thought about it before. But now that you've put it, this is what I'm saying. The devils never knew don't know what's going to happen to them, you know. Many of them has been deceived to think that when they die, they're going to go in the ground and have this kind of business. And I'm telling them that spirit don't go into ground. You can't go into ground, you idiot. How can you go into ground? You live forever. You have to suffer the consequences of your action, the law. I don't know what's... Don't you understand the law? You make laws up yourself, like we were saying yesterday when we was into the runnings. You make laws up yourself, you know what I mean? So what, you think you was the first to originate law? Your law is not the original. The original law is the terrible and dreadful God. And ain't no way you're going to break that and get away with it. I'm sorry for your little ass, like they would say in earth, man. You regret the day. But no, you know, it's still your choice, you know. It's still your choice. If you want to break the law, it's not a problem. It's still your choice. It's only because we are brothers why men will appeal to man. Because of the love of his brother. So it's the love for my brother. Because even the wicked man is my brother. Yeah, man, we are all brothers. You must think that because you're doing evil, I'm saying, no, you're not my brother. You are my brother. It's just that you're malfunctioning. You know? Something as, like we say, you've lost a screw upstairs. And I'm showing you ways and means of healing yourself then. So that you can escape. Because, I don't know. Go to prison and ask any man if they like been in there all that time they've been in there. Some man there for 40 years. No one like to be confined like that. And what is 40 years compared to eternity? To a very, very long time, you know. Roaming due to... Depends on the degree of your crime, you know what I mean? Because obviously some of you are more vile than some, innit? Some of you, by the time some of you die, right? I don't know how many souls you personally would have caused to leave the planet. Unjustly. You know, like your whole life was just... You was born to kill. I never have a movie like that, man. Born to kill. I'm sure that's what the movie called, man. Well, some of these vampires, they just born to kill. Spend their life doing killing. Hey, we have some killers like that in Jamaica, you know. Real just man, they kill enough, man. Bad man killers, man. That's what I'm saying. But on the flip side of that, like I say, that's what the fire lion is, a bad boy killer. It's the only thing, like I tell you before, sometimes those other killers will shoot and miss. I don't shoot and miss, never. You see me? And even if you're under the ground, you know, drop bunker buster bam. That means anywhere in the mind of devil is, I blow that out. With the lyrics, bunker buster lyrics. Anywhere in the mind. If you hide behind a wall, I shoot you behind the round corner, you know. I don't fire bullets and miss. You see what I mean? So that means when I sit in front of a camera, everything where I say down there, man, is right and correct. Whether the listener understand it or not, or whether the listener get the truth of it or not. But everything what I am saying and reasoning about when I'm spitting from Firehouse is right. Because we only deal with the truth. We don't deal with no belief down in Firehouse. We believe in what is right and correct. That's what we know and that's what we talk about. And we don't talk about what the next boy talk about. You know, run about oh Jesus said this and Buddha said that. Why should I, you know, Firehouse General, Firehouse knowing it. So Firehouse just spit it as it is. And tell you now, plain and straight, brethren, only one way to know the truth, and that is to live honestly. Try any other way, man, and you'll never get, like I said, the doors of truth will never open to you. You have to live honestly and truthfully. I mean, live it, you know. I don't mean going into some building or going into somewhere praying and all them things there. And, you know, and sitting on the tree meditating. I don't mean that. I mean actively live. You know? That means if you is a whatever your job is, yeah? Well, live doing your job and live honestly. When you work, live it. Not just live negatively and then Friday go and pray. Or then Sunday go to church. You know what I mean? Seeking some forgiveness from God, you are claiming for maybe whatever you have done during the week. You see what I mean? No, but liberty. That's why we call it Rasta, liberty. You have to live like that. And when you're living like that, obviously, majority of people, most people are not living like that. So they are going to live opposite to you and do the opposite thing to you. So can you take that then? That's what I mean. Can you take being a failure? Can you take when people think that you are an idiot? You know? And you know, no one ain't going to listen to you anyway. I say, oh, you're just talking. Can you take it? Can you live with the what you think what you would deem the humiliation then? You see what I mean? Yeah, but if you're an idiot, you can. When you are an idiot, you don't have to bother about humiliation or people laughing, because you haven't got no sense to figure out why they're laughing anyway. You know what I mean? Idiots don't bother. If you are a mental person, right, and people's taking the mickey out of you, it wouldn't make any difference, is it? Because you're mental. You see what I mean? So when you see the truth, you become mental. So when you're mental, it's irrelevant if people think that you are an idiot, or that you haven't achieved anything, or that you haven't got a career. Because mental people are not looking career. They haven't got time for career. Because they're mad. Mentally mad. Well, anyway, on the mad note there, what we're going to do now is fire out from Firehouse, see? And reach you on another reel where we'll be demonstrating some more of the madness of Firehouse. So what we're going to do now is fade in and fire out from Firehouse, see? Rastafari, live it.